Hey everybody, it's now time for the November Golden Vlog, and the questions this month are a little bit easier for me to answer than the questions last month. The questions all pertain to your jobs, both current and those in the past. So the first question is, what is your current job? My current job, without getting into too many details, just in case, I work in higher education, and I work in the enrollment side of things. So yeah, that's what I currently do. My very first job, that's the second question. What was your very first job? My very first job, I got it as soon as I was able to work. I wanted spending money, and I was fortunate enough to get a job at JCPenney, and I wasn't like a cash register person or anything. I handled stock, and I handled the fitting rooms, and that was my first job, and that's where a lot of my funny and strange experiences happened, but I loved that job a lot. It was really fun working with clothes and knowing where everything was and knowing what was on sale when, and yeah, I really liked that job. It was a great first job. So the next question, growing up, what did you want to be? I found last year my parents moved to Utah, and they brought all the stuff from my childhood home in Pennsylvania, and in there were all these things from when I was growing up, and one of them was, it was actually about this question. I was in third grade, and it was talking about what I wanted to be, and I wanted to be Julia Roberts back in third grade. It didn't happen, which is okay, but I think really I just wanted to be an actress. I loved it. I remember, this is going to sound so weird, but there was, at my elementary school, when I was younger, they had these collections, these little books of plays that you could read, and they were all for children, and I remember I used to get one a week, and every weekend I would put on those plays in my room by myself, but I loved it. I loved acting so much, and yeah, that's what I wanted to do when I got older, way back when. If you could have any job in the world, what would you do? If I could have any job in the world, I think I would really like to, I think it would be really fun just to have a job where you can just read all day and review books and get paid for it, a good amount. I think that would be a wonderful job. But then again, I also think it would be fun to be a Stitch Fix stylist, or just a stylist in general, and help people get their clothes together, even though I may not always look the best. But yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of jobs. I'm interested in so many things, because I'm also being a pilot might be fun, or you know what I mean? It's just, I am the type of person who just wants to do everything and try everything, and so many things sound so interesting to me. So I guess there isn't any one job that I would like to do, but I want to do everything. Except I'm not super interested in being a stripper. I've thought about it. I've heard the tips are really good, but I'm not flexible, and two, I don't have the coordination, and three, I just like having my clothes on. So the money may be good, but could not do that one. So that's probably a good answer to the question next, which is, what job would you definitely not want to have? So yeah, stripper. I couldn't. Good for you if you do it. But yeah, I couldn't do it. I tried pole dancing once. It was really hard. A lot harder than I thought it would be. And after the class, I looked like a battered woman, because it's just you get bruises everywhere. It takes a lot of strength, upper strength, which I don't have. So yeah. Next question, is there a certain profession that you admire a lot? I really admire teachers. I think that they don't get the respect that they deserve. I think that they aren't challenged the way they should be challenged, initially in college. I think that being a teacher is just as important, if not more important, than being a doctor, because they are the ones who prepare those future doctors and prepare those future lawyers and prepare all these people who have these careers that we admire. And I just think that teachers deserve more respect. I think they deserve more money. I think they deserve to be challenged more. And yeah, that's a profession I really, really, really admire. So that's why I'm in higher education. It's why I'm in education, and why I read a lot about education. So yeah. Another question, what qualities do you think make a good leader or a boss? I've had a lot of good bosses and leaders, I guess, that were nice people, but probably shouldn't have been in the position that they were in. And that's not saying anything about my current boss or leader if you're watching this. I think that you have to be more than a nice person. I think you have to be someone who is able to think critically and is someone who is able to make the decisions and say, this is my decision, and stand firm in that. And at the same time, I think you have to be the kind of person who can listen and see both sides of things. So I think there are a lot of qualities that make a good leader or a good boss, and I think that there are a lot of people in those positions who may not have those qualities, and that's a shame, but yeah. So those are some of the qualities. Next one. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you at work? So I'm going to talk about JCPenney way back when, and it's not funny, but it's not funny, but it was like the weirdest thing that happened to me at work, and I feel like it needs to be told because it's just the weirdest thing ever. So I was working in fitting room, and there was this weird guy like wandering around in the Alfred Denner section, which I don't know if you're familiar with JCPenney's lines, but Alfred Denner is like the grandma track suit type outfits and like the sweatshirts with like cats on it, you know what I mean? So he was over in that section. I was putting some stuff away, and I hear him like muttering to himself, and I'm like, okay, this guy's weird, but I just keep doing my job, whatever. Don't laugh at it. Don't laugh, right? So I'm putting stuff away, and then he comes up to me and he says, excuse me, miss. And I'm like, hi. And he's like, what's your return policy? And I was like, what do you mean? I mean, if you have a receipt, you can return it. And he's like, what about if there's blood on it? And I'm like, oh shoot, is this guy about to kill someone? Like, it's not cool. So I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work, sorry. And I run to like the center kiosk desk thing, like for the ladies department, and I'm like, call security, this guy's crazy, like he's asking about the return policy with blood and stuff. So security kept an eye on him. So again, not funny, but really freaking weird and very scary. So yeah, I didn't see him again, thank goodness, but I also don't think he tried to return it. So hopefully nothing bad happened. But I did talk to the proper authorities, so there's that. So again, not funny, weird. A funny one, I think the funny things with that particular job, I swear all the funny things happen with that job. People would leave things in the fitting rooms. Like one lady left her nasty weave. I don't know what happened. Like hair, it wasn't even a weave, I guess, because it'd have to be weaved in. Like hairpiece. She left a hairpiece in the fitting room. It was nasty. But funny at the same time. So, what advice would you give to current students now? My advice would be, don't worry about those extracurriculars. They don't matter. I'm not even kidding. Like, focus on your studies. Focus on finding you. Don't focus on spreading yourself too thin. Just enjoy being a child. Enjoy not having a ton of responsibilities. And take school seriously because it's really important. And it's going to help you far more than a school play is going to help you. Like, for real. It is. What was the worst job you ever had? I was a caterer for like one whole night. And again, I don't have upper body strength. And it was for this big wedding. And all these old creepy guys kept hitting on me all night long. And I couldn't carry my tray out to like deliver the food to the guests, and some other guy had to help me. It was just awful. It was the one time I was ever a caterer, and well, I wasn't like the actual caterer. I was like the help, I guess, a waiter, whatever. I don't know what you would call that, but it was awful just because it made me realize how inadequate I am in my upper body strength, and I still am that way despite trying really hard. So, yeah. So that's it. Those are my November answers. I am excited to watch your videos and see or hear all about your employment opportunities and advice and thoughts. And that's all. Okay, see ya.